Hi, welcome to Live Dungeons and Dyslexia. I'm joined with Bill Harvat of Crawl Club Publishing, and we are going to be talking about promoting Righteous Vow 3. Welcome, Bill. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So that's good, because one of the last times I did, we had the technical problems the moment we went live, which is good that it's not happened. So where you...
Good luck.
Yeah, you just said, so you're on holiday this week, aren't you? So you're taking time off just to sort of get this going live?
Yeah. The family, we're on family vacation in Arkansas, visiting my father-in-law, and I'm out here with the kids, my two boys and the wife, and just taking some time off work, and just so happens that we're gonna do a Kickstarter right in the middle of vacation. So
So working, but not working, but still working. So
yeah, little time off from the day job to do some other work, but this is fun work, so it's all good.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I just thought, can you see the comments, or do you need me to sort of show and share as they're going through?
Let me see. Oh, I can actually.
You can.
There's a comments button over here.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
That's easy.
That's great. I see a lot of good people in there. That's excellent.
Yeah. Better with Bacon. I've been starting watching him recently, so it's just full of YouTubers now. It's a really nice community, isn't it? It's
see
amazing.
Some good people in there. I see Marcelo's in there. He's actually an author here in Omaha. I'm working on a project with him. We're gonna do a DCC adventure. So Dungeon Crawl Classics, that'll be out in October, maybe.
Yeah,
might be December, somewhere in there. But not to spoil too much about that. But he's an excellent writer, and we're going to be working on a project together that he's already writing. So, and then I see Chubby Funster in there. That guy writes all sorts of great stuff for ShadowDark.
We've heard of him. And then we got Fox Off in there as well. So I say
I celebrate his entire catalog. Anyway.
Oh, look at that! That's a nice place to start. Thanks, Dad.
Right. I too am a dad.
So, yes, yeah, it's no, thank you for that. So idea of today, we've got around about an hour because Bill, you're off because you're on holiday, so you're off to watch. I'm assuming is that the new Jurassic Park film?
Yeah, my kids, we've been watching all the Jurassic Park movies as a family, and they're really excited to see the new one. So my wife got tickets, and it's like an hour after we get done, we're gonna have to drive into town and go see it. So
yeah.
So
I'm a few behind my kids because they're now I've got 5 kids, but the youngest 2 are 14 and 15, and they're more interested in sitting in their room and ignoring their parents. They're at that age, and the rest are either at university or moved out. So we don't really get to see much anymore. Okay, so before I get into 3, because the idea was we're going to put 3 live, assuming that works. But what I wanted to do was just go through the sort of have a quick look at 1, then 2, then put 3 live, and then we can take questions. Obviously, if you've got any questions as you go along, just throw your questions in, and I'll share them on screen. But yeah, hopefully everyone here is aware of volumes 1 and 2. But 1 was it was the first time we ever spoke, wasn't it? You very early on, you sent me 1, and you were like, "Would you mind having a look at this for me?" And I was like, "Yeah." I think you were probably one of the first people to ever send me anything. I think that it was quite. I say quite early on. It was like about 4 months ago, and this was. I did the review, and you're like, "Wow, really?" And I was like, "This was one of the best first time adventures I've ever read." And I've read a lot more adventures, and I'm still sticking with it. This is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
What it is, and it's basically around this, and this is what I loved about it: is the fact that the players need to go and find. It's a family heirloom, technically, isn't it? Within a castle, and nobody knows where the castle is. They get given a map, and there are different. They know there are castles on the map, but they don't know which castle is the right one. And then through the adventure, they still need to go around the other castles anyway. And as a games master, you're randomly rolling the castles, and that is such a. It's like a tiny little kind of throwaway mechanic, and I don't mean it in that way, but it just makes it, from a replayability, from the games master point of view, interesting. But the players can't really cheat either. And then
Yeah, no. I was hoping it would improve the replayability of it, and then also kind of, you know, throw some, you know, something even the dungeon master or game master wouldn't know what's coming next, really, because if you're rolling, you can either roll them out early, go with the default setting, whatever you want to do. But I think that it was just a fun little mechanic that it worked out. It makes it replayable and a lot of fun. And I mean, honestly, when we started this first adventure, I just went and found some artists, and I ran into Andrew, and I ran into Uriah and Dwayne, and those guys are amazing talents. And that's the best thing about writing these zines and these books, is the fact that even if you don't like what I wrote, the art is worth the price of admission. so so hopefully, what the adventure itself is a nice bonus on top of the excellent artwork that you get in every Righteous Vow, because we're always going to do it where you get the original artwork with every new volume, and all the artists are really great people. We work well together. We talk every day, just about. I don't think that there's been a day we haven't talked in our little chat every day. And that's the other cool thing, is we're kind of a little community in there. I don't like talk to each artist individually. I put them all in the same room and we talk and collaborate, which collaboration makes everything better. And a lot of what I write is based off of artwork that they finished before I even get started writing. I talk about, hey, I want to make this story. Can you draw this? And that's the beautiful thing, where their artwork inspires me to write. So
yeah. So each castle's different as well, which I think could have. My initial read, I was like, no, I wanted every castle to look exactly the same, and then you sort of go, because that would have been like, but interior be different. But it just works. I've actually managed to get a playthrough of this, and like you say, means I can go back, correct all the mistakes I made, because I think as games masters we all make mistakes on things. Not that the players know, but you kind of miss something. You go, oh, it'd be nice to include that. So, for your first ever zine, absolutely amazing. And then you went, oh, I've got a second one coming. Do you want that? And I was like, okay. Is it going to be Empire Strikes Back or Highlander 2? I think was my worry, wasn't it? And
yeah, I mean, you always worry about that sophomore slump, but I'm just gonna, you can't know until you do it.
No, and it's definitely Empire, isn't it? This one.
I felt like it turned out great, and I've told this story a couple times, but originally this was going to be like the third or fourth volume, but Andrew was so excited about drawing the Ratkin and the Ratmen that he just kept drawing all these different different drawings of the Ratkin, and them with the armor on and the swords and stuff, and it just really sparked that creativity with him. Like this image right here, that's one of the early ones that was drawn before I ever even started writing, and actually the lizardmen themselves was that was my idea, but all the Ratkin were his idea, because one of the first images was just all the Ratkin, and then I said, hey, they're going to need an opponent or another enemy to, because I wanted the Ratkin to be the good guys, because they seemed to fit that role more, and someone that you could befriend and actually even play as, because you've got the ancestries. So I was like, can you make dinosaurs and lizardmen? and then all three of them, they all took off and started making cool lizardmen as well. This one right here, that and that one there, both of those were drawn before I ever even started the book. So, and Andrew was all about these. So we went with it, because I was like, you're excited about drawing this, so let's make this first or next,
So did some of the adventure, was it inspired from the art? Because obviously you've got the art early.
Yeah.
I think off camera, you definitely said that this turned out to be a lot more pages than you were expecting.
Yeah, definitely. And that's true of volume 3 as well. The first one, I was just like, I've got this plan. We'll make it simple. I mean, not too simple, but simple enough that we can fit it into 70 some odd pages. This one got to be around 165 or 163 or something like that. And it was just ideas and more ideas. And, it just turned into this big epic adventure that can go off in many different directions. But it provides quite a bit of fun for everybody who's playing it, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I'm full of ideas, but I'll tell you what, all the talent that surrounds me really props up and creates what this really becomes. I know that, without my editors, Wayne and Lori Brecky from Big Ink, they really help rein me in. And then, my team of play testers and contributors. I've got those guys, Steve Bladdock, Sean Fontaine, John Chappelle, and just everybody involved in the zines. They kind of, it takes a village to create this, and it's not just me. So I just put everything on paper, and then they tell me, Bill, this is too powerful. You're going to get a TPK, or this might be too crazy. Let's rein that in.
Yeah, because you've got this weird little. Well, it's not weird. I use weird in a complimentary way. In like this, in the middle of the game, like your book, you've got it's this like giant abstract battle. And then you got rules for a battle. And then I was like, because when I first picked this up, I go into panic mode because I read quite slowly. Well, I'm reading a lot faster now with spending more time on the channel. But your first one was 60 pages. This was 163, I think, something like that. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Why have you sent me this? How am I going to get through it? But it's just reads. I remember reading something that Chubby put on, I think it was on X a few weeks ago. And he was saying, the layout of a book, finding someone that can lay out your book well makes such a difference. And it does. It's, if it's laid out well, you can read it quickly. If you can read it quickly, you can get it to the table easier. You're not darting and around books. And I think you've managed to get both books perfectly well laid out, which, as you say, is testament to the two people you just mentioned that I didn't write down. So sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. No, and actually all the layout is well, I do the layout, but the layout does get, we do get comments on that, especially from a few of the collaborators like Steve and Sean, and they'll go in and say, why don't you put this here? Let's change this around. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. But a lot of the layout is based off of Kelsey and just her brilliant idea with ShadowDark. It's not exactly the same layout. I changed some things to make sure that it was my own and I wasn't just directly ripping her off. But a lot of it, is the brilliant layout that Kelsey did with ShadowDark, and that look. We're absolutely trying to come close, but not exactly mimic it. And I feel like it, it fits in that world, and if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's one of the things that brings so many people to it is the fact that it's laid out, it's easy, and we can follow it nice and easy. So I think we've eased everyone in, haven't we? We're 15 minutes in. Would that be a good time to get Righteous Vow kicked on?
Sure. I've never done this before, so I'm just going to hit the button and then we can party.
And it's not going to go wrong. Everything's going to be absolutely fine.
Let's see. I've read the details and I am launching project. Here we go.
And it's going to go, your project will now go live for the next 24 hours.
All right. It says, congratulations, your project is live.
We are live. We are we?
It is. Excellent. I think it's time. We've done this thing.
I've just had an email through. We are live. Who's going to be back at number 1 then?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Let's. I can share.
Godspeed and good luck.
Yeah. Let me just share.
Amazing.
How do I do that now? Oh, I've got to separate it out, haven't I? That's why. Let me just pull that out.
Well, man, it's sending everything to my phone. That's pretty amazing.
Oh, is it? Is it all just sort of beeping and going mad? And
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that it'd do that, but
you know what? You're going to be in bed. Your phone's going to be clicking, noises, questions. We are. There we go. You've had 3 backers in, £75. I'm going to turn into one of those people at auctions. £75, £75, £100. Okay, so obviously now we're live. If you've got any questions, just throw them up and we'll share them on the screen. But I think it's probably better if we just go through what's included on here. And the reason I wanted to start with 1 and 2 is because I was aware sneakily that there are going to be additional pledges and add-ons to include 1 and 2 in there, aren't we? So, do we want to play the promotional video? Actually, have you got any copyright bits on your promotional video? Any music or anything?
If I do or not, you might.
Okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave it off.
I think the music that I got might be because I have a Envato license that I use their stock audio, so it might not love it. So
yeah, when I do Kickstarter, I've stopped doing videos because I keep getting copyright warnings from YouTube.
But definitely play the video. It's great. It's a fun little video, but not right now though.
yeah, not right now. So yeah, I didn't realize it was a thing. So this obviously then we've got front cover art here.
Yep. That's the soft cover art right there, and that's Andrew Beckwith all the way. And it's got those 3 adventurers on it, and they're going to kind of periodically show up throughout the adventure. You'll see them, the dwarf, the male kind of paladin, and then the female fighter with the sword and shield. So, and then it's got the cultists kind of in the foreground who they're about to fight off, and then in the background you've got the dragon sneaking up behind them, which is it's just brilliant art. Andrew's my favorite artist. I tell him all the time. So,
I think it also helps having a style as well, because then people, obviously it's got Righteous Vow written on it, but when you move away to anything else, people will see the artist and then they associate you with it, which is always a good thing, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that it's just great to. Sorry, I was like half reading comments, and then my ADD kicked in, and I'm like, I totally didn't hear what Adrian just said. So I'm sorry.
So okay, so we got a question here then, Bill. Can we get an option for softcover and hardcover for Volume 3, or do they need to separate?
Right now, actually, there is one where you can just do that in the add-ons, but that is a good idea. Maybe we can, and I will figure that out. But as of right now, you can buy the hardcover, and then you can add on the soft cover, or you can buy the soft cover and add on the hardcover. So it should be able to do that. But it's kind of up to you. I can also look into doing the hardcover, soft cover bundle, but I have not put that together. I thought we had everything prepared for and right away, but that's an awesome idea. So
whatever you think of, someone's going to think of something else. It's always the way. So we've got some backers in already. So we've got Matthew Sherman.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt.
Better with Bacon. It's gone for the mega bundle. So, and the print bundle as well. So
awesome. And I will always do things the same way, Goodman Games that makes Dungeon Crawl Classics. And I think, Kelsey and Arcane Library do it this way too, but I try to follow in the footsteps of successful creators, and I've always admired how they will always give the PDF for free if you buy the physical print. And I always want to do that too, because I feel like if you're going out and getting the physical, you should get the digital included. So every time you get that physical, you'll always get the PDF.
When I rule the world, it will be mandatory with anything that they have to be included. So no, I'm with you. It's whenever I'm backing Kickstarters and stuff, they don't include the PDF. It always makes you go, because there's some things you look at and they go, well, it's an extra $30 for the PDF, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
How,
and sometimes I'm willing to pay that if it's good enough, though. So,
oh,
but
yeah, but I think it's because a lot of Kickstarters now, people like yourself and, like you say, Goodman Games have now started including it. It kind of feels that it's nice. And, even Drive Through RPG, a
yeah.
lot of times now people are bundling the prices to include the PDF, which is really good.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think we've got any teasers for Volume 4, but you've got a few
I
things
don't
to
have
say.
one here. I will tell you that there's been a lot of naval vessels being drawn by Dwayne Rogers lately, one of my artists, and I'll tell you that it might have some a galleon and a sloop in it, and possibly a brigantine. So, and there's some spoilers for you. I really enjoy naval adventures, and so we might go down that road next. Of course, I do have Volume 5 that I might bump up to Volume 4, which I tested some of that at GaryCon, and so some of the readers and backers out there might know exactly what's coming because you played part of the adventure. So so I've already got 4, 5, and 6 planned out, and most of the art done for 4, and a good deal of the art for 5 put together as well. So
Fantastic. No, that's good. Brian,
yeah.
yes, the soft covers for Volume 2 is going to be an add-on. Are we just quickly before we get there? Are they going to be set? Can you buy just one, and just 2, or are we bundling them in?
They're bundled right now, and you can get 1 and 2 on Drive Through RPG, or you can get them, on the Crawl Club website. Actually, I just sold out of Volume 1 hardcovers on the website because everybody kept buying them up. But yeah, signed copies here might be difficult just because the signed copies. Everything's being fulfilled by Jeff over at RPG Ramblings. So he's going to handle all the fulfillment this time. The books are being print. We're going to do a print run of all the books, and then they're all going to get sent out and fulfilled by him. He's done a really great job with everything. He just did. He and Zach just did the Devoured Labyrinth stuff, and then Dark Visions, and they did a fantastic job with that. And being that I'm not doing print on demand this time, and I wanted to make sure that I had a good team of people to work with. Zach and Jeff have been amazing, and I can't even begin to tell you how many positive things I have to say about Zach and Jeff. They're just absolutely the most helpful, awesome, just amazing people to work with. So those guys are the best, and everything you know about them is true.
I'll sell you a signed copy of something.
There you go. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be at GaryCon again next year, and I will sign anything for anybody. Just come up to me and ask. I will sign whatever you want. Happy to do so.
That's my plan. My plan's GaryCon and North Texas. Those two seem to be the good sort of ShadowDark ones to attend. So
yeah, I'm hoping to be at both of those next year. I can't wait. And GaryCon this last year was amazing. I'm sure it's going to be just as great, if not better, next year. So
yeah, I've just got to convince myself to step on an aeroplane because I'm a little bit childish when it comes to flying. I hate it.
Right on.
Getting there is fine because I can drink on the way there. It's coming home is the worst thing. So we've got a question from Matt. I'm going to come back to Matt's question because I want to get through a little bit more of the Kickstarters because obviously, more importantly, first 48 hours, we've got a bonus adventure coming in. So how big is the adventure? What can you sort of say about this?
Well, being that I'm a long-winded individual, I'm trying to keep it between like 12 and 20 pages, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this part of the adventure is we had the original adventure, but this is kind of expanding on the conflict between the dwarves of myth, which live in the Myth Mountains, where Mithril might come from, and you've got the Dwergar, which live under the mountains of myth, Um, and they have this place in the ShadowDark underneath the mountain called Nazilgrath, which is a fortress castle where the Dwergar live. And so this is all about the conflict between the Dwergar and the dwarves, and the mountain city of Moraine, where the dwarves live. So this is it's going to have a kind of a cross section map layout with a point crawl on it, and it's going to include the actual top of the mountain where the castle, where the dwarves are, the mines, and then it goes down into the Shadowdark and the underdwellings of where the Dwergar are, and you can have multiple ways that you can explore it. But I've seen the sketches, and the art is being worked on right now by Dwayne Rogers, and it's going to be incredible. Just the cool point crawl that's going to be in here. And then it's going to be a whole adventure based on rescuing some dwarves that were kidnapped by and by the Dwergar. So that'll be really cool. I'm excited about it. A bunch of really cool original art. The cover here is actually by Mazarak, who is one of our other artists in Righteous Vow and a good friend of Andrew's, and he does amazing work as well. So we've got a ton of great artists working on Righteous Vow 3 and this little offshoot adventure. Anybody who backs within the first 48 hours, you get that included with your pledge. So now's the time to back it.
I assume if PDF, you get PDF copy. If you get physical copy, you'll get a physical copy of this.
It's PDF only
Okay.
for right now, and there might be eventually either a stretch goal or possibly there might be a print copy at some point down the road. We'll see, but right now it's going to be PDF only.
And if you miss the first 48 hours, paid add-on.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you'll still be able to get it, but you won't get it included if after the first 48.
Okay, cool. So we've got some content here from Volume 3, 140 pages. So sitting in between 1 and 2 in size.
Yes.
So load of new art, obviously, is to be expected. Original adventure. So do you want to give us? You probably covered a little bit of the plot with the two different dwarfs, above ground, underground.
Right.
Do you want to sort of spoil as little or as much as you want to of the plot?
Sure. And that's the scope of this adventure is wider than just the conflict between the dwarves and the Dwergar. You've also got the paladins that live in the city of Doxum and the kingdom of Doxum, which is the paladin kingdom, and they are at war with the Knights of the Brood and this dragon, which you will come to know as Gaust. And Gaust and the cult of the Brood, which are the cultists that kind of follow the dragon around, worship the dragon. But and then there are also the orcs that are the orc tribes that are coming from the Ailed Sea from the south, which is another faction included in this. So there's plenty to go with. You can either wander off into the kingdom of the dwarves and do adventures over there. You can go to the east and do adventures with the paladins, or you can transport back and forth between the two kingdoms. You can head south and go on adventures with the orcs. You can go to the north, and there's some undead up there. If you go to the southeast, you can go and interact with the cult of the Brood, the Knights of the Brood, which are fallen paladins who have turned from the order of the Lion Father. And so it's all sorts of it's a sandbox, and there's a lot of content in here, and it's not going to play the same way twice, much like the other adventures. You're going to be able to it gives you all the tools if you're a game master or a DM to create a really great adventure for your group. And there's different elements in the timeline, and I'm actually working on just more of a timeline, a visual timeline that I'm going to put in this adventure. Right now I have like I did in volume 2, where we have the background. And much like in volume 2, I don't want to overwhelm anyone who's going to run this adventure. I want to make sure that everything is spelled out on 4 pages. If you can read 4 pages, then you can run the adventure, and everything else is just kind of gravy and details. So if you can make it through the background part of the adventure, you'll be able to run it. And from there, there's just a wealth of content and maps and different monsters. We've got new magic items, new NPCs and mercenaries. And there's even one of the coolest parts about the adventure that I'm looking forward to everybody using is there's kind of tables for the different village content, because there's different cities and villages within the hex crawl, and you can go visit there, and they've got, jewelers and blacksmiths and different merchants in there that you can go and purchase items from, because what are you going to do with all that gold once you have gone on your adventure? So it gives you a little something to do. And so that's also included in there. So lots of great content.
What you're going to do with that gold is you're going to spend it on shirts, apparently. So
yeah, there is going to be a volume 3 shirt. It is not going to be included in the Kickstarter, unfortunately, just because shipping and the whole logistics with that, it becomes kind of a tough situation with that. But we're going to offer that on the website separate from the Kickstarter. So
I think we were Chubby. I think we were just, Bill was trying to say there's more to life than carousing, I think.
Yeah. And if you need some carousing tables, I'm pretty sure that Chubby Funster can hook you up. So
here in this book here.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So
good stuff.
I'm going to go back to Matthew's question, because it was a bit of a long one.
Oh yeah.
Any advice for a new publisher who has a product but he's struggling to gain an audience?
Yeah. So when, and as part of that question, he asks if I had a product or if I, what was that? Let me go back and
do you want me to put it back in?
Yeah. Sorry. I was reading the second part of that. Or start from nothing, or did you launch the first product as an already established audience? So when I started, I just created something because just like anything, and I believe, being a musician and a drummer, I listen to like Dave Grohl. I mean, maybe not on marital advice, but as far as music, but and he says, any good band just gets out there and sucks until they're good, and just keep playing and being terrible at what you do until you get good. And so I'm the same way with this. I was just like, I want to do it, and the only way to do it is just go out there and do it. So the first book, we didn't do a Kickstarter, we didn't do a backer kit. I just got together with the artists and my editors and just got the people around me to create success, and just executed that. Wrote my butt off and created something that I thought was going to be something people would enjoy. I put it out there on DriveThru. I gained traction. I started a mailing list. I followed Kelsey's advice. I think she said here and there, if you've got a good mailing list, then you're on your way. So create a mailing list, use Facebook, X. Yeah, I still call it Twitter, but and then Blue Sky, Instagram, all those. Just make posts every once in a while. I'm not that great at social media, but I think that if you can keep up on that, interact with people, and ask. Absolutely. Chubby Funster's comment here: most creators in the space are happy to share their methods and insight. Just ask people for their help if you need it. And absolutely, the people that helped me get started are the same people who are now helping others get started. So if you need help, talk to me, shoot me a message on Discord or on Facebook, and I'm happy to help. I mean, right now I've got Will from Runeforged, and I've been collaborating and talking with him. I talk with Will from Menagerie Press. Weekly, if not daily, I talk to Zach Goins and Jeff Jones all the time. For my mailing list, I personally use built-in mailing list from GoDaddy because that's who hosts my website. But there's a bunch of different options out there that are probably better than what I'm using, so I might not be the best person to ask on that one. But yeah, just I would say get out there, do it. Be approachable, especially go to conventions. I can't tell you how positive it was for me. I printed out a whole bunch of just stickers with our website on it and a cool dinosaur logo, and I passed those out like crazy at GaryCon, and that's kind of how people got to know me is, oh, he's the guy passing out stickers and talking about his zine and hanging out with the ShadowDark folks. And then I ran games. I ran 16 hours of games at GaryCon. So I just got to know the people that were playing my adventures, and it was fun, getting to meet everybody and meet all the other creators because there's a lot of them out there and they're making great stuff. So yeah.
I'm just going to throw in from an us point of view, work with YouTube creators as well. I think.
Oh yeah.
Always offer us. I don't mean this in a thing, but by offering someone a free copy, even if it's just a PDF, if they like it, they'll review it and they'll talk about it. But I had one sent to me the other day. I liked it, but there was no art. And he went, I can't afford art because art's the most expensive part by a long way. And I pointed him to two websites. One was free. It's got a load of free art that you can have, and one you can buy public domain art you can buy on the cheap. He's played around the book. He sent me a copy of it. He spent less than $10 getting all these art in the book. It looks utterly amazing.
Nice.
I'm happy to do the review and put it up, because the problem is if I do a review and there's no art, I'm going to go, the content's great, but it's very bland. It's very difficult to read. It can be slow and boring. You don't have to spend a lot of money while you're getting established on art. Obviously, if you've got the money, and you can hire people like Bill does and stuff, and because art is going to sell a book equally as well as the content of the book. They say don't judge a book by its cover. We judge every book by its cover predominantly.
Yeah. And that's why I'm so fortunate to have artists like I do, and establish that, and that's exactly what I did. I would say to anybody who's looking for artists, just go into those like fighting fantasy art groups or the old school OSR art groups and just look at some of the artwork out there and talk to the artists. Just say, hey, do you want to start a project with me? One of the things that I can remember when I started Righteous Vow Volume 1 with Andrew, and he was like, you contacted me about my art, and you're the first person. Everybody keeps saying that they want to do a project with me, but you're the first person that's actually gone out there and actually made it happen. So sometimes just actually executing on the idea, ideas fail, but hard work pays off if you can actually put the work in and actually follow through. Write down, have an Excel spreadsheet of what your plan is, and execute on that. It goes a long way. So yeah.
Amazing. And the thing from Chubby is saying he's demonstrated how to adapt public domain art for things that he's done, which obviously is going to be invaluable as well. So let's get back and see where we are. I think someone's written.
I haven't even looked. I've just been looking at the comments here.
Yeah. It's distracting in a really nice, fun way, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's just get back. Let's see where we are. We are.
Have a good one, Marcelo. He says
31. Oh, there you go. Oh, that was a big jump.
There we go.
That was flying. Right, let's see how we can get people to spend money. What are they spending money on? So hard copy and PDF, $38.
Yep.
Okay. Soft copy, $25.
Yep.
PDF on its own, just $15. Hardback bundle. That's all three. This is because the hardback's always got the. It's got the really nice art, hasn't it? The hardback. I'm not saying the softback isn't nice, but it's because it drops out the right. I'm going to put my foot right in it now, aren't I? And it's like I can't even edit this out.
No, I actually love all the art on all of them, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think that the soft cover for Volume 3 has the coolest art out of maybe Volume 1's hardcover. It holds a special place in my heart just because I just love the King Zardu art so much. But
yeah,
but I really love the soft cover art for Volume 3. I think that that's one of the coolest pieces that Andrew's done. So I couldn't be more excited. But I also really enjoy the Princess Kaelin art, on Volume 3, and so and she's special because Andrew's I don't know if I should go into this, but Andrew's niece granddaughter, I think. I'm sorry, I'm messing this all up, but I think it's his granddaughter passed away, and her name was Kaelin, and so we named Princess Kaelin the female paladin princess after her. So she's forever immortalized in Volume 3, and I wanted to do that as part of the book, just because, he talked so positively about her, and I wanted to do something special for him and for his family by including her, and I was excited to say, hey, Andrew, draw this art of Kaelin, so that was special. So
the community just always does manage to go and just make everything amazing, doesn't it? That's a really nice thing to do. You're making me all teary now as a parent of 1,000 kids, which is especially with. Well, no, let's not talk about what's just happened in America.
Yeah, it's a coping mechanism too, because during Volume 2 my father passed away, so like Volume 2 was like really heavy for Andrew and for myself and for everybody involved, because it was like Volume 2 we were just finishing up the book and all this stuff happened, and then Volume 3 it's like we've got to press forward and keep creating and enjoying and this great distraction from life,
Yeah, you've got to. I've got to share this. Thank you, Agile. That's incredibly generous.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think the heart's the best bit at the end. I do.
Absolutely.
So no, thank you. And then obviously lots of people sort of saying nice gestures and stuff on here. So which is let's stop me putting my foot in on the good or bad art. But what you've cleverly done here is you're forcing people to buy all 6 copies of your book to make sure that that they get everything, which is good. And then obviously you've got PDF copy only. And okay.
Yeah.
This is Zach and Jeff's collaboration. I've got both of these. I've done reviews of both of these on my channel, and not that I should plug my channel because you're watching my channel, so it seems a bit ridiculous to plug myself. But actually, you might be here for Bill and not even know who I am, which is perfectly acceptable.
This is actually the cool thing about doing the collaborating with Zach and Jeff, and then also using Jeff for fulfillment, is that everything's going to be mailed out by Jeff at RPG Ramblings when the Kickstarter ends. So he's already got the copies of Dark Visions and the Devoured Labyrinth there. So if you want to add those in, maybe you missed those Kickstarters, this is your opportunity to include those in your pledge. We've even got a mega bundle there that includes all of the Righteous Vow. If you just want everything, you can get all the Righteous Vow books, all the books from Sword Compass and RPG Ramblings, which is Zach and Jeff, their publishers or publishing identities there, and include those. Yeah. So get all the books, all the good stuff. I mean,
yes, Will.
Hopefully you think it's good. But so far, so good.
Here we go. More backers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. See, that's right. Dark Visions is top notch, and
it really is.
He bought it after watching both of my videos. Awesome. I'm sure. So stretch goals.
Yeah.
Here we go. So do you want to talk us through?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on. I've just seen me as a stretch goal.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. looks like we already did that one. We better get there, I guess, or I won't ever post this on the internet. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I just created a Kickstarter. No. So, um, yeah, the first one on there is we've added an adventure if we make it to 5,000, and that'll up the page count to over 160 pages, and it's going to be all about the Nord ruins. In the northeast side of the hex map, there are some ruins, and it talks about them, but we could get a full detailed map as well as adventure along with the ruins and the dungeon underneath. So if we make it to 5,000, we'll get more goodness, over 160 pages, just upping that page count, making it a bigger book, including more content. I'm hoping we can get there. I'm thinking we can get there. If we get to 6,000, I guess we already did that, so I'm going to have to change that. But you know what?
Do you know what?
I was just like,
well,
what are we going to throw on here?
we still haven't actually done a proper review, an interview, because obviously, knowing my
Yeah.
interviews, we'll talk about your history, your past, what brought you into the hobbies and stuff like that. Being as you've written it in here, I feel obliged to fit you in somewhere.
Okay.
So, so if you get to
do it then.
6,000, you'll see us do this either again live or we'll pre-record it.
That sounds great.
channel. So
I would love that. And then I'm not a liar. Thanks, Adrian, for bailing
that's
me
good.
out.
That's good. Thanks for forcing me to do something.
No, I'm more than willing and thankful for your quick thinking to making the stretch goal still applicable.
Yeah. We'll just edit this bit out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. Oh wait, we're live. And then at $7,000, if we get there, we'll get. We're going to do a series of stretch goals that are all the A5 cover art prints, and then artwork throughout, and they're just going to be like these really nice. It's going to be a thick paper that you'll get, almost like a poster board. But you'll get A5 sized prints of artwork. You'll get the cover art, and then looks like we'll get a Battle of Twin art from Matt Morrow. Oh, I got to show you guys that artwork. Holy smokes. And that's the other cool thing about Volume 3 is we've kind of expanded the artists that are going to be in this volume. And Matt Morrow, he actually did the some of the artwork in the ShadowDark rulebook. And he's done a lot of different projects out there with different creators. I know he's worked with Dungeon Damsel and Zane and Bunny, and they're excellent stuff. I think he's going to have some stuff in their new project, which I'm really excited for when that comes out, because they make great stuff too. But yeah, they're doing their Drew Scara, which is coming up. Go check that out and get on the list to be back that. But yeah, Matt's doing some really excellent artwork, and some of the stuff he did for Righteous Vow is just some of the coolest art. I absolutely love his work. And the cool thing is he lives in Omaha, so he lives actually he might live in Council Bluffs right over in Iowa across the river, but he doesn't live too far away, and he comes to our friendly local game store and actually sits in and hangs out and draws while I'm running games at our monthly ShadowDark game. So it's really cool to get to hang out with one of the ShadowDark artists and just, hang out and be friends with him. So he's a really awesome dude. But yeah, we're going to have his artwork. Then we're going to have Gauss the Dragon art print, which is another Andrew Beckwith art piece. And then if we somehow make it, I mean, some of this is like, pie in the sky. I hope we make it there, but we'll see. But if we make it to 12,000, we'll do a chrome gloss sticker. And that's just me totally stealing the idea from the Western Reaches campaign that Kelsey did, because I want a cool sticker like that, like the troll one. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more excited for the Western Reaches campaign when that Kickstarter delivers, because a lot of that content is going to tie in really well with Righteous Vow Volume 3, especially the Paladins. All the Paladins in the Volume 3 are based off of what you're going to get in the Western Reaches and the Paladin class. So you'll be able to use your Western Reaches content side by side with the Righteous Vow 3 book. So that'll be really cool. And then we'll get a map if we hit 15, which, you know, if we hit 15, I'll be doing cartwheels. I'll be doing cartwheels if we make it to 10, but you know.
No, okay, I'm holding you to that. If we get to 10, by the time we do our interview, you're going to have to do cartwheels in the
Oh my
room that we're
gosh.
recording it on.
All right. That was a figure of speech, but I'll try.
No.
If you want to see Bill doing cartwheels for real, I'll do it. I'll do it.
So we've got 27 witnesses to this. So
Nice.
a couple of quick thank yous before we go on to a question.
Yes.
Why won't this show? Why won't my mouse work? Nothing's showing now. Oh, there we go. I think it's just a delay. Thank you for gifting the membership, Matthew. And then we've got a new member, Semper, here. Thank you. Semper's been on a few of my lives recently, so you never need to kind of start remembering names, which is really nice. Okay, so Dave has asked the question 3 times now, so hopefully you can stop asking it if we throw it up. Please.
Ding. I'll have to look at that. I think that we were going to I think we might be using Mix'em, but it also might be Walsworth. I'm going through that with Jeff right now, and we'll make sure that we update everybody. But we're doing a print run. You're not going to have to do print on demand this time. It's just you pay for the book, you pay the shipping, it comes to your house. So it's all good. It's all good. It's a good question to ask because I need to go back through and make sure that all the information on here is 100% correct. So. And that, you know, Dave Rosser, you know that I'm actually his sidekick. I don't know if you knew that, but we go to conventions and hang out, and we have game days locally. And Dave, he's actually the superhero, and I'm like his sidekick. So Dave's a superhero. He's the man.
Are you the Robin? I still have trauma from Robin. I went to Comic-Con. We all dressed up as a family, all like 5 kids and my wife. And one year, my son wanted to go as Batman, and my son was 8, and he made me go as Robin, but not normal cool Robin. I was like 1950s Adam West era Robin with the bloody tights.
Oh man!
So nice. my little son was like 4 foot high, dressed up as really cool Batman, and I got to be Robin. It was horrible, but as my wife said, all the women kept looking at me going, "Oh, what a cute dad." So it was all right.
Nice.
So so we've got a question here on writing from Dad.
Yeah, I have a question on writing. I'm working on my first. How do you decide what needs to stay and get cut from your book? Okay. Yes. And that is why we have editors. I can talk about something forever, and I can write about something forever. And you have to have editors to rein you in. And Wayne and Lori, as well as my collaborators like Steve and Sean and everybody who looks at the book, even my artists will sometimes give me, Dwayne and Uriah and Andrew, they'll give me, a pointer here. I share the PDF with my team and the people that are working on it, so they can say, Bill, this monster is going to TPK people. Bill, this might be a little underpowered. This is going to be a cakewalk, or this isn't necessary. Don't talk about that. They can make that up, or they can figure that out themselves. You don't need to elaborate that much. So always having a good team of people around you to look at what you're doing, what you're creating, and telling you, hey, Bill, this is awesome, but you need to rein this in is always good. Because collaboration makes everything better. Anything that I've written gets picked apart, there's and you got to have a little bit of a thick skin too. You got to be willing to accept criticism, because if you can't laugh at your silly ideas and realize, oh wait, this idea is better, I should totally change this to this, then it's going to be harder for you. But if you can accept that, those edits and changes, and realize that you're a team that's working together to create a greater goal, then I think it goes a long way for you to just have that open mind and be willing to collaborate, because collaboration, just the best stuff is made by, many people getting together and being creative. And yeah.
I think like you've been saying all along, use other people.
Yeah.
Take the bits you're good at, because if you're good at something, be good at it. Just keep doing what you're good at. But if you're bad at something, outsource. There are plenty of people out there that
definitely
maybe get hints and tips for free initially, but don't keep
I had to
back
do
and
all
asking
of
for free
myself.
stuff.
This would be garbage because I can't draw worth a darn. So
yeah.
Oh, and no, Chubby Funster, that is a perfect answer right there. And I think even Kelsey has talked about that numerous times, about how she does all of her writing directly into InDesign. I'm the same way. I have to know what space I have to get my point across, and I try to fit it in there. And I've said this on different interviews that I've talked about. If you can't get a point across within 4 pages, or write a summary of what you're trying to get across in 4 pages or less, then you need to rethink it, because I think that's kind of, I personally have a form of ADD. My children have it. My wife has it. And you can't hold my attention for longer than 4 pages to get a point across. If I have to read more than 4 pages, and I'm not just saying like all the content, but on that 4 pages, you should be able to get somebody excited about the content that's coming next, So that's kind of my boundary that I set for myself. But Chubby Funster's comment there, write the book in layout. Excellent idea. Determine how much space you are devoting to a topic. And like his example, 1 page per class description, and then force yourself to stay within that. Setting those boundaries is an awesome way to go about things. And I completely agree.
So Matt said he'd share it with people outside the community, ask them if it makes sense. That helps to him when he's writing stuff, which I think it's always good.
Yes.
I always think back to my time in board gaming and even to I don't write stuff, but I think the problem we all have as writers is we all know what's in the book, and what you need to do is just give it to a stranger and go, look, can you run this? Does this make sense? And if it makes sense to a stranger, you've got your point across.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I do that with my wife. I'll show her something, and she's completely not a nerd like I am. She's actually cool and pretty, but but it's kind of funny to listen to her have no idea what she's talking about, but somehow getting it. So it's nice.
Yeah. Bet with Bacon offering a bit more as well about essential layouts, because it's not a novel, as he says.
Yeah, absolutely. Writing and layout, I would definitely say that. And you don't have to use InDesign. I use InDesign, but there are great options out there for you to use. There's different templates made in Word, and then I know that, what is that other software that everybody uses all the time? It's really great too. Affinity Designer. Yeah, that's the.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying Chubby's comment, and I'm just about to Google your wife.
Nice. Yeah, I outkick my coverage. It's true.
So, saying that, my wife has said the very same thing. Since I've been doing this in the last 6 months, loads of mutual friends are popping up that are people that I've made friends with recently on here. So I don't know how it all works, in all honesty, on whether that is people stalking or whether it just throws them up because they're friends with me, if that makes sense. You don't know, does it? But I think Chubby is definitely a stalker.
That's all right. It's all good.
Okay,
married for 13 years. I feel fairly secure in my.
What, you and Chubby have been married for 13 years?
Me and no, my wife. So,
okay, we're getting short on time, so I just want to sort of wrap up, because you need to go, don't you? Because you're off to the cinema with your family.
Yep. Here's soon. Yeah.
Just want to get through the sort of shipping and time zones. I know these things regularly move, but ignore shipping, because that'll be what it'll be when but it's the timeline really is what we're looking at, isn't it? So. And then we'll see where we're going. Yeah, Jurassic World is what he's going to see.
Yep, we're going to see Jurassic World. And the kids are excited, so all good though. If we go a little over, it's not a big deal. But yeah, for shipping, and all of this is actually generated via Jeff, because he's the one that's going to initially or ultimately have to ship everything, because all the books are being shipped to him. once printed, and then he's going to do all the fulfillment. So that way I don't have to worry about it. And because he's really good at these things. So, but yeah, we're trying to keep the costs as minimal as possible, but we kind of put ranges in there just because of the fluctuations and uncertainty of the times, as it were. but we're gonna definitely make sure that we're making things as affordable and get them to you as expediently as possible. So there we go.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And then I think just the rest is just names of everyone that we've spoken about.
Yep.
On through, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the village that makes this possible. And then all the great people that are behind this. We've got a lot of experience. We got a lot of talent. So hopefully people can back this, knowing that there's people that have done this already, and they all know exactly what they're doing. so it's all written. That's always a beautiful thing to start your project, when you already have everything, at least in editing and layout, and most of the art's done. So yeah.
So we need £600. That's it. I don't know what that is in dollars.
Yeah.
So about $900, I'm guessing. If I just do a pledge of $900, does that do it?
please don't. I mean, I don't want to dissuade you, but don't throw that much money at it just for me, my friend.
well, no, I'll get an interview out of it. So,
hey man, I
think so. If you've got any more questions, I kind of need to sort of throw them in now, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you for subscribing, Dave. So I don't.
Yeah.
That's great to see. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, Dave's the man. He's my buddy.
He's your Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I do this full time now? No, I do not. I work a day job for a $11 billion life insurance company, and I work in marketing and design. And I'm actually a video editor full time. So I have Crawl Club Publishing LLC. I also own my own wedding videography business. So I shoot weddings a lot during the year too. So I've been a video editor and designer and videographer for years. And I do a lot of work in the community as well. I like to do a pro bono project every once in a while as well to help out different causes. So like the Nebraska Children's Home Society for foster children and stuff like that. And then also I like to, just create videos and make people happy. There's no shortage of people getting married out there, and they keep throwing money at me, so I'll keep doing it.
Yep. Night Noon Games.
Yeah. Mike, he's the man. Doing YouTube Tuesday at noon. Sure doesn't. Oh yeah, I took this week off, so I put in PTO for this so I can hang out with all you guys. So otherwise I would be working right now.
All right, we'll make Matt's question the last one, because I know that you need to.
Biggest mistake you feel like you made starting out that you wish you could go back and change? Not starting as early as I should have. I would say do it now, right? Because procrastination and saying I don't know if I could do this, I don't know, but just getting out there and doing it. I would say that's about the biggest piece of advice I could give anyone that's thinking about doing it is come up with a plan, write it down, get it on paper, and execute on that plan, because ideas fail all the time. And if you want to do something, you've got to put in the work and create it, because otherwise it's just an idea that gets lost and never comes to fruition. But I would say that, and then maybe, let's see, other mistakes I've made. I don't know. I've probably made several that I don't even think are mistakes, but they're not a big enough deal for me to worry about, because you know what? Onward and upward. We're just going to keep going.
Yeah, no, brilliant. That was ace. We'll do that. We'll do that for volume
6 or 7.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7.
4.
Well,
no, 4
and 5 are already like part written, and actually volume 4 is mostly written. Volume 5 is about half written. and most of the art's done on both of them. So it's not going to be too crazy long before we get those out there. I wanted to just, if it's okay with you, list off some people I wanted to thank, if that's all right with you.
Yeah,
too.
of course. Carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. Just before, I don't know if I should do that, but we're doing a live stream.
I feel like I need a slideshow with their faces, like at the Oscars.
Yes. I want to thank Andrew. No, I don't even know if I should do this, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, do it.
It's our live stream. But yeah, Andrew Beckwith, Uriah Groves, Dwayne Rogers, Mazrak, and Matt Morrow, the artists. You make this possible. Your artwork is amazing. And I've said it before, even if you don't like what I've written, those guys, the price of admission is worth it just for the artwork in these zines. So they do an amazing job. Wayne and Lori Brecky, my editors. Wayne is an old friend of mine, a great dude. And then Lori, she's amazingly talented as well. They're a husband and wife team from Big Ink Writing Services. And you can find links to them in the projects as well. They're amazingly talented. Zach Goins and then Jeffrey Jones. Zach has seriously been one of the most helpful and encouraging individuals that I've met. I met him at GaryCon, and I'm telling you, that dude, I can't say enough good things about him. He's such a great friend and great dude. And then Jeffrey Jones, also a really amazing dude. And he's doing all the fulfillment on this, so it's going to make it to you professionally and well done. Then Steve Bladek, Sean Fontaine, John Chappell, my editors and collaborators and playtesters, they're awesome. I wanted to also talk about, I wanted to thank Kelsey Dion, for making this awesome game, and for seriously, just, I have not heard a single person that has met her say that she's not as advertised. She is just the sweetest human being. And, I'm really excited to go hang out with her again at GaryCon next year. And just love everything about what she's doing. And we all get this awesome game because of her. So, and then Will at Rune Forged, dude, thank you. Will was one of the first actual video creators here that took on promoting Righteous Vow. So I always wanted to thank Will. And then Dave Rosser, I'm his sidekick, but he's my partner in crime for RPGs, and love that dude. That is one of my major regrets, is that I didn't meet Dave Rosser sooner, so I could be a friend for longer in life. So there you go. And then Dark Space, those dudes, seriously, Than and Derek, what they're creating, seriously awesome. And I can't wait to work with them, because I think around December, I'm going to release a Dark Space adventure to go along with their complete rules for Dark Space that are coming out possibly in December. I don't know. Maybe I'm spoiling something I'm not supposed to spoil, but I think that's probably when it's going to come out. So
yeah, Than told, I think he said around about the same date in the interview I did with him. So that's definitely been bounded around. So
good. I'm glad that I'm not spilling the beans and I'm going to be in trouble.
Actually, we're just calling Than out and said December's when you got to release it.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm going to I'm working on a sweet adventure, so it's going to be super fun.
And Dave's crying.
Bunny and Zane from Dungeon Damsel, they've been really great to collaborate with too. And I'm looking forward to their Druscara campaign. And then, Chubby Funster, who makes Terra Invictus, Shadow Rim, the GM Companion, and Player Companion. That dude makes awesome stuff. And when I started making these projects, I talked to him and he helped me out and encouraged me. So, and I think there's more on that list that I'm forgetting, but you know what? I've already blabbed enough. But I want to, appreciate the people who have helped me along the way, just because it means a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And so Adrian, seriously, thank you, man. I super appreciate all of you.
No, it's nice. Thanks for sending me stuff. So I'm just going to plug something quickly. So a week from now, in 2 hours' time, I will be live with Chubby, promoting his upcoming Kickstarter, which is Shadow City, which is a ShadowDark Vampire the Masquerade. I think it's around X now. People are aware of it, and I talked about it. I've been playtesting it with him for the last month or so. So yeah, we'll be live getting that going in just over a week from now. So come back and join us then.
I will. I'll come heckle him, and I'll be backer number 1. Sound good?
Yeah. And once we get to, was it 5,000, 6,000? I think you've got to drop me a message, and then oh, here we go. That seems fair.
Nice. Yeah.
So I look good in a dress.
Nice.
So I don't know why. Do saints wear dresses? I don't know. I probably annoyed a lot of Catholics now. So I don't know why I need to wear a dress, but yeah. So we'll be doing that. But yeah, but once we get 6,000, we'll get on and we'll do a proper interview. We'll take you back to school when you first started the hobby and everything else that you went. And here is, just as we're about to go, my ear trumpet is struck by lightning, gifted a membership. Thank you for gifting the membership. Bill, it's been amazing to have you on. Hopefully, let's just one last jump in. Let's just see where we are. How many we got? We are like that, just jumping up. I think by the time you get out of Jurassic World 27, whichever one it is, you're going to watch, that I think you will be fully funded and getting ready for the cartwheels, because it's on here and everyone is aware that you will be doing cartwheels at, was it 10 grand? I think you said.
Yeah. If we hit that, I'll do some cartwheels for you.
See, careful what you say on the internet. On my other channel,
I know, right?
I made a claim that if we got to 2,000 subscribers by a certain day, I would buy some Magic the Gathering Collector's booster decks. We did. It cost me £500 to the anger of my wife.
Yeah.
Because she was like, and I was like, because people on the internet have heard me say it, so I've got to do it. So
we'll see if mine's more expensive after the chiropractic bill. So
you're gonna have to clear a lot of space as well, because I'd get practicing if I was you.
I'm gonna put holes in drywall live. Yeah. Perfect.
Bill, seriously, thank you. Everyone else, go and support the project. This will obviously just roll out onto my YouTube channel. I'll send you the link if you want to add it to your Kickstarter project, so it can be on there to help people get through it. So yeah, to everyone that's watched, everyone that's donated, your questions, fantastic. Thank you for the support. So we will be back in a week's time, being live in just over 2 hours with Chubby on yet another ShadowDark Kickstarter launch. Enjoy your film, Bill. And,
all right, thank you
it's
so much.
It's actually weird because we've only just met, so thank you.
Yeah, nice thank you, Adrian. It's been a blast getting to know you on Discord and now in person. Well, yeah. A little bit of ocean between us, but
yeah, hopefully
we're officially friends.
Yeah, and I'll get over your area next year. GaryCon is the aim.
Yeah, so. And then we can high five in person. That'd be great.
I'm gonna come just run and chest bump.
Yeah, that's right.
I've always been inappropriate. Yeah, we'll just get a camera set up and we'll just see you can end it with no teeth. So.
Perfect. There we go.
Brilliant. Everyone else, thank you. Obviously, like, share, subscribe to the channel, support Bill's project. Let's see him do cartwheels on the interview. Right. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.